of the first canto. Please repeat the translation. Previously, all the great sages rendered service unto the personality of Godhead due to his existence above the three modes of material nature. They worshipped him to become free from material conditions and thus derive the ultimate benefit. Whoever follows such great authorities is also eligible for liberation from the material world. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. The purpose of performing religion is neither to profit by material gain nor to get the simple knowledge of discerning matter from spirit. The ultimate aim of religious performance is to release oneself from material bondage and regain the life of freedom in the transcendental world, where the personality of Godhead is the Supreme Person. Laws of religion, therefore, are directly enacted by the personality of Godhead, and except for the Mahajanas or the authorized agents of the Lord, no one knows the purpose of religion. There are 12 particular agents of the Lord who know the purpose of religion, and all of them render transcendental service unto him. Persons who desire their own good may follow these Mahajanas and thus attain the supreme benefit. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, if the contents of all Vedic scriptures are to be summarized or taken the essence of, that would become the Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses of the Bhagavatam. And if we were to concise the Bhagavatam in one word, that would be
Krishna.
Bhakti.
Okay, Bhakti.
But you're right for the second question. If we were to summarize the whole Bhagavatam in two words, then that would be Bhakti and Bhagavan, Krishna. So, in this chapter, second chapter, Sut Goswami is giving the answers to Shaunakadi Rishi about what is the ultimate good of the whole humankind. So he gave the answer in the 6th verse, Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo. He introduced Bhakti. And from there on, up to 15th verse, he described bhakti. And then from 16th, 22nd verse, he gave all the steps of bhakti, the bhakti ladder. The bhakti ladder was, it's called from Shraddha to Prema. Starts with Shraddha, gets to Sadhu Sang, you get into Bhajan Kriya, and after that you do Anarth Nivrati, develop Nishtha and Ruchi and Asakti, and finally Bhava and Prema. Like we say, every morning after the morning program, or let's say just before we start chanting, we chant the Shikshashtaka prayers, and then we chant the 10 offenses. At the end of the last offense, we always remember that our goal is Krishna Prema. So that Krishna Prema is the ultimate goal, and that is the same Krishna Prema over here that we're talking, Shraddha to Prema. It's not any different Prema, it's the same Prema. Krishna Prema. And from there on, now we are in this next portion of the second chapter, from verse 23 to 29. So up to verse 22, bhakti was focused on. Now, Sud Goswami is focusing or trying to focus on Bhagwan. Bhakti and Bhagwan. Or you can say Prema and Krishna. Krishna Prema or Prema of Krishna. Love of God. Actually, this love of God is a common goal among all the major religions in the world. No matter how much they follow and not follow, and how much we are following and not following. But Krishna Prema or love of God, God loves you. You should love God. Everybody's message. God is all powerful. God loves you. So in this section, now Sud Goswami is turning gears from bhakti to Bhagwan. Lord Krishna in the relationship to his various expansions. What he is leading towards is Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsam Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. He wants to prove that there are so many avatars, expansions, plenary expansions, expansions of the plenary expansions, Kala avatar, Shaktavesh avatar, Guna avatar, Purusha avatar, Leela avatar, so many different avatars. And then finally there is Krishna, Tete Chamsa Kalapamsam, Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. So in this, in the 25th verse, he is talking about whoever follows the great authorities, who has rendered devotional service unto the Lord, is also eligible for liberation. Before getting to Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is trying to cover everybody else. So in this verse, he is covering the Mahajanas, the great authorities. The great authorities are given, Mahajanas are given in the Srimad Bhagavatam By who? Anybody knows? Who gave the list of the Mahajanas in the Bhagavatam? The Yamaraj. Right, answer. In the 6th canto, 3rd chapter, verse 20 and 21, the list of these 12 great authorities or spiritual authorities, or in Sanskrit, Mahajanas, is given. Swayambhur Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Pralado Janako Bhishmo Balirvayasakirvayam Dvadashete Vijanimo Dharmam Bhagavatam Bhatah Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham Yam Gyatva Mritamushrunate. Lord Brahma, Bhagwan Narad, Lord Shiva, the 4 Kumaras, Lord Kapila, the son of Devahuti, Swayambhuva Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, Grandfather Bhishma, Bali Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami, and myself being Yamraj, know the real religious principle. My dear servants, this transcendental religious principle, which is known as Bhagavad Dharma, or surrender unto the Supreme Lord and love for Him, is uncontaminated by the material modes of nature. It is very confidential and difficult for ordinary human beings to understand. But if by chance one fortunately understands it, he is immediately liberated, and thus he returns home back to Godhead. So the subject matter being discussed here is why follow religion or religious principles. Most people follow religion or religious principles for some kind of material gain. So it's really being distinctive here. Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport, the purpose of performing religion is neither to profit by material gains nor to get simple knowledge of discerning matter from spirit. What is simple knowledge of discerning matter from spirit? That's called self-realization. So the purpose of following religion, Srila Prabhupada is even discarding the self-realization is even not the purpose. The purpose is not material gain, and purpose is not self-realization. What is the purpose? Ultimate aim of religious performance is to release oneself from material bondage and regain the life of freedom in the transcendental world. To understand our real nature. What is our real nature? Jivara Swarupoy, Krishnaira Nityadas. So if we can get into our real nature, what are we doing instead of Jivara Swarupoy, Krishnaira Nityadas? Whose das are we becoming? We are becoming dasas of our wants, desires, sense gratification, and dasas of under the influence of the modes of material nature, becoming das of Maya. Das of material possessions or material relations. Becoming das of, as Srila Prabhupada said, that people want to serve somebody or the other, and if they don't have children, they don't have family, they don't have anything else, they get a dog or cat and serve them. Because the nature is to serve, this person cannot get away from that nature of being a servant. So, if you're not going to serve Krishna, you're going to serve somebody or the other because the nature is to serve. And that being fixed in our actual Swarup is what is going to free us. That is the ultimate aim of the religious performance, is to execute loving devotional service so that we get fixed in our own Swarup of being a servant of the servant of the servant. And that is going to free us from the material bondage and regain the life of freedom in the transcendental world. Further, Srila Prabhupada describes where the personality of Godhead is the supreme person. Krishna is in charge. Who's in charge here? Krishna. So, this is part of the spiritual world. The temples are not supposed to be part of material world. They're part of spiritual world. Because Krishna is in charge. Law of religion, therefore, are directly enacted by the personality of Godhead. And except for the Mahajanas or authorized agents of the Lord, no one knows the purpose of religion. So there are so many people who speak on Shastra. So many people are even speaking on Bhagavatam, not making any devotees. Not even focusing on bhakti, they're focusing on katha. Of course, the katha is going to purify as well, but the real aim is to bring people in execution of devotional service. So, similarly, there are so many authorities out there, but these 12 Mahajanas are an authority who will show you the path to go home back to Godhead. How to transcend the modes of material nature, how to transcend ignorance, go into Rajas, how to transcend Rajas to go into Sattva, and how to transcend Sattva to go into Vishuddha Sattva. That is the purpose, not just understanding these material modes of material nature and understanding this, that, and the other thing. No. And who does that? The 12 Mahajanas do. So we're going to discuss a little bit of the 12 Mahajanas. There are 12 particular agents of the Lord who know the purpose of religion. And all of them render transcendental service unto Him. Persons who desire their own good may follow these Mahajanas and thus attain the supreme benefits. So in the 6th canto, 3rd chapter, verse 20-21, these Mahajanas are given. And Srila Prabhupada mentions here, Lord Krishna refers to Bhagavad Dharma as most confidential religious principle. Sarva guhyatam guhyat guhyataram. Krishna says to Arjuna, because you are my very dear friend, I am explaining to you the most confidential religion. Sardharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Give up all duties and surrender unto me. One may ask, if the principle is very rarely understood, what is the use of it? In the answer, Yamraj states herein that religious principle is understandable if one follows the parampara system of Lord Brahma, Shiva, four Kumaras, or Lakshmi. So referring to the four Vaishnava paramparas. Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya parampara is where we come from. And there is the parampara coming from Shiva, it's called Rudra Sampradaya. Then there is one coming from the Kumaras, it's called Nimbarka Sampradaya. And one coming from Lakshmi, called Shri Sampradaya. So we are in the Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. And what are the major temples in the Rudra Sampradaya? Anybody knows? Major temples in the Rudra Sampradaya. That is Vallabhacharya. We hear so much about Vallabhacharya being together in Vrindavan with the Goswamis. The Goswamis are following the Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya, and Vallabhacharya was following the Rudra Sampradaya. So they have temples all over the place, very prominent temples, and I think their most prominent temple is Srinath Dwara. Srinath Ji, Srinath Dwara. Is a whole city based on this temple center.
Is this the so they're more into like parental rise?
Yes, Vatsalya.
That's coming down from Shiva's disciple line?
Yes.
Interesting.
So they worship, their main deity is Srinathji. Srinathji is the form of Krishna lifting the Govardhan hill, was actually originally found by Madhvacharya right next to the Govardhan hill. And then the service was shifted onto Vallabhacharya and his disciples. And that is their main deity. Then there is Kumar Sampradaya. Kumar Sampradaya is called Nimbarkas. And Nimbarkas, anybody knows of the major temples of the Nimbarka? Bake Bihari in Vrindavan is Nimbarka. Although the temple and the deities are Nimbarka. But the pujaris are not Nimbarka. So somehow at one point the worship was transferred into the local pandas. So these people do not follow the proper Guru Shishya Parampara system, they follow the seminal system. They call themselves acharyas, and the next acharyas are their sons. No matter what they are, who they are, whatever they are the next acharya. They are the next Goswami. In any case, that is the major temple of the Kumaras. And then there is Sri Sampradaya. What's the major temple of the Sri Sampradaya? Sri Rangam. All of these Balaji temples are in the Sri Sampradaya. Balaji temples are also everywhere. They have their special kind of worship. They worship this big deity of Balaji always in a very special form. And their main temple is, of course, in Srirangam. Fourth is, which one's left? Huh? All are covered. That's us. Yeah. Yeah, fourth is us. So the 12 authorities, Mahajanas, first one is referred to as Swayambhu. Swayambhu refers to Brahma. Swayambhu, Lord Brahma, is also one of the Guna avatars. And other than managing the affairs of this whole universe, the universe that we live in, Lord Brahma is in charge of this universe. He is always propagating Krishna consciousness. We read the Brahma Samhita. What does it say? Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Sarvakarana Karanam. Krishna is the cause of all causes. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is always trying to emphasize on that fact and bring people to Krishna consciousness. In the Bhagavatam, there are 4 special verses called the Chatushloki. No, the Bhagavatam, there is Chatushloki. Bhagavatam's Chatushloki is in the second canto, 9th chapter, verse 33, 34, 35, 36. 33, 34, 35, 36. So, this Chatushloki is the actual knowledge, the Guhyatam knowledge, the most confidential knowledge given by Krishna in the form of Vishnu directly to Brahma. So Brahma is the recipient of that knowledge in so many ways, and this is one of the ways. He is the first living being on this earth. He is understood to be the Shrishtikarta, or the creator. Of course, he is the secondary creator, and he is the recipient of the divine knowledge in the form of Chatushloki Bhagavatam in the second canto, 9th chapter, verse 33, 34, 35, 36. Also, he is the Guna avatar of the Supreme Lord.
Can you read that 4, please?
Huh?
Can you read the translation for that 4?
The translation of those 4?
No, okay, if you don't have it.
It's long.
Okay, continue.
Each one of these verses, the Chatushloki, the purport is close to 10 pages average. Chatushloki is really loaded knowledge. So even one of the verses you start giving a lecture on, and it's hard to finish in one class. Any one of the Chatushloki you pick up and try to explain, you can't do it in one class. Not even one verse in one class. It's very hard to finish. You have to squeeze in and just kind of go Next is Devarshi Narad. He is also avatar or incarnation, Shaktivesh avatar. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada explains that there are two kinds of Shaktivesha avatars. One is Shaktivesh and the other is Bhagavatavesh. Bhagavatavesh, there are two. Bhagavatavesh avatars are Kapil Muni and Lord Rishabdev. Lord Rishabdev and Kapil Muni are two Bhagavatavesh avatars. And then there are so many Shaktivesh avatars. Probably there is no count, but there are 7 major Shaktivesh avatars, or 7 major Shaktis of the Supreme Lord, through who he manages the affairs of the not only this universe. Brahma is limited to this universe. Krishna is not limited to this universe. So all these Shaktis, they work in other universes also. And Devarshi Narad is one of those Shakti. So these Shaktis are Shrishti Shakti, Budharan Shakti, Bhakti Shakti, Gyan Shakti, Swasevan Shakti, like that. So one of those Shaktis, major Shakti, is Narad. Narad Muni. Narad Muni, can anybody guess one of which Shakti is Narad Muni?
Which Shakti?
Which Shakti?
Jiva Shakti, you mean?
No, these Shaktis that I just mentioned. Shrishti Shakti, Gyan Shakti, Bhakti Shakti, Bhudharan Shakti, Swasevan Shakti, Shatrudaman Shakti, Bhakti Shakti. Very good. Devarshi Narad is the Bhakti Shakti. He is always spreading bhakti all over the place, all over the world, all the time. When he finds people who need help, he goes and gives them Krishna Bhakti. Like the big devotees, biggest name devotees in the Bhagavatam, such as Prahlad Maharaj. Who's their guru? Narad.
But we can't say Jnana Shakti.
Huh?
Jnana Shakti we cannot say.
We will come to Gyan Shakti. The Gyan Shakti is also here. The Kumaras are actually Gyan Shakti. They are more focused on giving Gyan. Of course, the end of that Gyan is always bhakti, but Narad Muni focuses on bhakti. Like when you read the Bhagavad Gita, bhakti is supposed to be introduced from the 13th chapter onwards. But Srila Prabhupada starts talking about bhakti from the first verse of the first chapter, where Krishna is not talking about bhakti, but Srila Prabhupada is talking about bhakti. Why, he was asked, said, if somebody picks up the Bhagavad Gita, starts reading something, I want to start giving them bhakti right away, because God knows if he will reach to the 13th chapter or towards the end of the Bhagavad Gita or not. So, all of these Mahajanas, they're all Mahajanas, and they're all focused on bhakti, but Devarshi Narad is more. So, Prahlad Maharaj, Guru is Narad. Dhruv Maharaj is Guru, Narad. He shows them the path, he tells them about bhakti, he tells them how to do, how to perform, what to do, how to do it, where to go, what. Maharishi Ved Vyas, Guru is Narad. So many others. Who did Yudhishthira Maharaj always turn to? Narad. So, Devarshi Narad is also one of the major speakers of the Bhagavatam. You know, there are 18,000 verses, but really, if you go to count, there is 14,095 or something. Because many verses are worth 2 or 3. Because according to the definition of a verse in Sanskrit, a Sanskrit word should have 32 syllables. Some verses that we count as one have 100, 150 syllables. So altogether, if you take all the syllables and divide them by 32, you will get to 18,000. But if you count them one verse for one, then you only come to 14,000. And major speaker of the Bhagavatam, can anybody guess who may have spoken the most verses in the Bhagavatam? This is an easy one. Most verses spoken in the Bhagavatam by which personality? Shukdev, actually. Shukdev Goswami. Almost 5,000 verses, 4,900 something, were spoken by. This work is not available anywhere. We have manually counted. We have a team of devotees who have manually counted. The second biggest speaker of the Bhagavatam is very hard to guess. That is Krishna himself. Krishna himself spoke close to 1,100 verses in the Bhagavatam, mainly in the 11th canto. Third biggest reciter or speaker of the Bhagavatam is Maharishi Maitreya. This one was easy. And number 4 is Narad Muni. Narad Muni himself spoke about 800 verses out of the 14,000. Almost 800 verses. He's a big contributor to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Number 5, just almost as much as Devarshi Narad, is Sut Goswami. Sut Goswami has only spoken the first canto and the 12th canto, whereas Devarshi Narad is everywhere. In every canto, there is Narad. There are many chapters on Narad Muni in the first canto itself, where Sut Goswami is the speaker. Number 6 is Brahma. Lord Brahma is speaker, top speaker, number 6, with about 400 verses. Lord Kapil Dev spoke about 350 verses. And Parikshit Maharaj himself spoke about 250 verses. These are the top speakers of the Bhagavatam. Lord Shiva is the third Mahajana. He is also Gunavatara, first Vaishnava, always trying to guide people towards Krishna Bhakti. Always trying to guide people towards Krishna Bhakti. Of course, his service is to give shelter to the lowest of the low or whoever would come to his shelter. But if you ask him, he will always guide you to Krishna Bhakti. Kumaras, these are Shaktivesh avatar. Kumaras are also Shaktivesh avatar. They are Gyan Shakti. They deliver Vedic knowledge everywhere. Every planetary system they would go to, they would hold kathas, they would sit on the Vyasasana and give knowledge. That is what they do. Then the next authority is Kapil Dev, Lord Kapila. Lord Kapila, as I said, spoke about 350 verses. He gave the Sankhya philosophy in the third canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Sankhya philosophy is all the way from 25th chapter to the 33rd chapter. Swayambhu Manu, also sometimes referred to as Manu, is Swayambhu Manu, is the husband of Shatarupa and known to be the first human. First human. First human on this earth. Like first Jiva is Brahma. But Brahma is not really a human. Swayambhu Manu is human. Human number one. First person. Then there is Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, of course, very straight, directed towards bhakti. He is mainly known for giving his 9 processes of bhakti. Next is Janak Maharaj, born out of the body of Maharaj Nimi. Janak Maharaj always focuses on bhakti. Bhishma, known for the knowledge that he gave on his deathbed. Krishna actually asked the Pandavas to learn from Bhishma. The Bhishma, you speak, I am standing here and hearing. Such a big authority, Lord, the grandfather, Bhishma. Bali Maharaj is also one of the spiritual authorities known for disobeying his guru and perfecting the Atmanivedan. He perfects the Atmanivedan, gives everything to Vamandev or Lord Vishnu, because he knows this is Lord Vishnu and he is ready to give anything and everything. Shukdev Goswami is the 11th authority. Shukdev Goswami is kind of like a human. He is not really a human because Krishna blessed him with perfect senses and Krishna blessed him that my Maya will never touch you. Deveheshe gunmai mam Maya duratyaya. It affects all of us, but does not affect Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami is the main speaker of the Bhagavatam. Third of the Bhagavatam spoken by Shukdev Goswami. And the Yamraj is the speaker of this verse. In the 6th canto, when you go to the pastimes of Ajamila, there are chapters after chapters spoken by Yamraj, how he establishes the bhakti principle, how he establishes the surrender to Krishna, how he establishes the importance of chanting the holy name, even unknowingly chanting the holy name. So these are the 12 authorities that completely focus on Krishna Prema, not on just knowledge, not on material gain, not on just self realization, but executing loving devotional service. That's it for today. Any questions or comments?
Thank you, Prabhu. That was really a nice class. Covered lots of broad areas there. It was very interesting. I liked the view of the sampradayas too. I learned something there. I always wondered where the pushti mark came from.
Yeah.
I knew it was attached to Vallabhacharya, but I thought it was just something that developed from Lord Chaitanya, but it's actually from,
Yeah, he never followed Lord Chaitanya.
yeah.
Vallabhacharya was parallel to Lord Chaitanya,
Yeah.
lived at the same time.
Yes. Very interesting.
Thank you. Anybody on the Zoom? Oh, sorry,
In
Manu
the
Prabhu.
purport, the last sentence, when you read here, I was thinking, persons who desire their own good thoughts.
Huh?
Persons
Yeah.
who desire their own good may follow these margins.
Yes.
And then attain the supreme good. I was thinking, how about for others? If you want to think of others, I was thinking, I don't know that.
Persons who desire their own good.
Own good, but about if you want to do the best for others, good.
So you still again follow the Mahajanas, because the Mahajanas will tell you to preach. Acharya is the one who knows the way, he goes the way, and he shows the way. Shows the way is the preaching aspect, showing others. Because one day you hope to go home back to Godhead. Okay? So, just like a parent who lost so many children, if one of them comes back, what would the parent ask them? Where's the rest of them? And what would you say at that time? I don't care about the rest of your children. You have to be able to say, Krishna, everybody I met, I showed them the way. They should be all coming following me. That is the answer Krishna will be happy with and embrace you. Okay, good.
Yeah, the example is given by Haridas Thakur. And when he left, Lord Chaitanya said, well, when he was getting ready to leave, Lord Chaitanya said, you have preached sufficiently. Right? There's a line in there where he says something like that. So we send them back to the spiritual, to whatever. Like, that's the example, I suppose.
Yes.
Lord Chaitanya was satisfied.
So, satisfaction from a responsible devotee is that you show the way, not just go the way, not just know the way, show the way. And if you showed the way, they reach or they do not reach or whatever happens is between them and Krishna. But I did what I could to show the way.
horse to the pond, but you can't make it drink.
Yes.
But it's a beauty to show the pond where the water is, so that when horse is thirsty, it knows where to run.
Yes.
That will be interesting.
Anybody on the Zoom?
Jai Govinda.
Hari Bol.
I'm not intelligent enough to ask a question, but I do have a comment. Thank you very much for a really brilliant class. I'm completely amazed at your knowledge and understanding of the Bhagavatam and the incarnations and the different avatars, etc. And when we're talking about the Mahajans, the 12 authorities,
Yeah.
anyone that is strictly following in the line of the Mahajans is also considered a Mahajan. Srila Prabhupada would be considered a Mahajan.
Yes.
And also, he's also would be considered a Shakti avatar, Bhakti Shakti avatar, because he is spreading pure love of God. Just, that it's not just those 12 in bygone ages that are considered Mahajans, but there are other Mahajans that are those who are following strictly are also considered to be Mahajan.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Okay. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंद